What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Pokemon with Draco. As always, I am, in fact, Draco, and we are going to pretty much get right into it today. First and foremost, I do want to say thank you to the 150 subscribers. We have done it. We have broke 150 subscribers. I believe last time I checked this morning, as of this recording, we're at 153. So huge shout out and huge thank you to everybody who has subscribed. And like I said, this is another episode of Let's Talk Pokemon. It's been a while since I've been able to record. I had good solid 2 weeks of internet issues where if I even tried to upload, my internet was like, no, what are we doing? Actually went down for a full day, about a day and a half, where I had no internet at all, except for the old cell phone internet. But today's episode of that's neither here nor there. Today's episode of Let's Talk Pokemon is a good one. It is, in fact, going to be about the 2023 Oceania International Championships. But we don't just talk about international championships here on Let's Talk Pokemon. We, of course, have to talk about a certain Pokemon. And it was a Pokemon that I didn't see coming, and I don't think anybody has seen coming. And that is, in fact, Corviknight. Now, Corviknight is a really, really cool Pokemon. It is Gen 8. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over on Victory Road, take a look at those tournament results for the IC Championship, which was in fact held in Australia. But like I said, let's just jump over and grab those tournament results. They're right here on the screen. Go away, text. Look at that. All right. This is in fact Victory Road, and it's going to be your best friend when it comes to all sorts of things. Tournament related, team related, game related. First and foremost, huge shout out to Gavin Michaels for winning the 2023 Oceania International Championships. Take a look at these team results. It was an absolute amazing tournament. I watched pretty much all of it, and huge tournament. Awesome tournament. Okay, so here it is. This is the details as my computer takes its time to load. It's because I'm recording too. Okay, sweet. All right, so 2023 Oceania International Championships was held between February 17th, 2023 through the 19th of February, 2023. So for that weekend, it was held in Melbourne, Australia. Here's your attendance. It was played in, obviously, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Gen 9 in the Series 2. This was a big tournament. You had 9 Day 1 Swiss rounds with a +5 Day 2 top 32 Swiss rounds, top 8 single elimination, open team sheets. That's just how it's been, open team sheets. This tournament was really fun. I had a blast watching it, and I could tell the people who were playing it had a blast. We'll just go down here. This is all of the information. You can look at the team's results for the seniors and juniors if you wanted to. They do show that this is the winner, Benjamin B1, with a Dondozo team. So, of course, Dondozo did win, a big tournament. It did win an OCIC. Look at this. Dondozo is everywhere here. And then this is the juniors top cut. You have Kara N, who won that one with a Dondozo team. So I actually watched both those matches. They were really, really good matches. That's why I wanted to bring that up. They were really cool. And it's really cool to see the younger generation come in and do really well and win, big results, big tournaments. Really cool to see that. Just means the future of this game is in good hands. Excited for that. Anyways, here is the results for the seniors division, which is my division because I'm older. Gavin Michaels, like we already talked about, took first place, picked up 500 CP, got a pretty nice cash bonus on top of that. Look at this, our old friend. That is, in fact, Baxcalibur. And if you are seeing what I'm seeing, that is a rain team winning. I stood behind it when I made my rain team that I just put out. I knew rain was going to be good. Rain is good. I think rain is good in every series that I've played in. And Palafin, I am a Palafan, as they would say on the stream. As you look at the rest of the team, though, I thought this was very interesting. You actually have a Mungus over something like Brute Bonnet. There is no Brute Bonnet in Top Cut at all in the top 8. But you do have Iron Hands, a few of those floating around here. But this is the only rain team that made top 8 and then ended up winning. Mousehold has made a resurgence here. If you look down even into the day 2 Swiss rounds, like Mousehold is everywhere. I mean, it's crazy. And it's cool to see because it's not the population bomb Mousehold. It's just like a supportive Mousehold. So with the Dragonite, the team really cool. We'll just pull it up right here. This is Gavin Michaels' open team sheet. It was consisting of Amoonguss, Dragonite, Iron Hands, Pelipper, Baxcalibur, Pelifin, yeah. So that was the squad that won it. And from what I watched, when I watched Alberto and Gavin actually play together, they're they're team build together and stuff like that. They're pretty close friends with what they were saying, and they were telling on the stream that they wanted to stay away from each other. And Alberto only beat Gavin's team 20% of the time, or something like that, in the practice. So it was the Baxcalibur that did it for him. If you look at the team, Baxcalibur just dominates this team, and that's exactly what happened on stream. But the one team that I was super impressed about, and I think every single person that watched the stream, all the casters and everything, was in fact Alberto Lara's team. And it's just because he's a player that I've seen, because I try to watch all of these just to stay up to date. He sticks with what works for him, and this team comp is insane. You have like Roaring Mood, Corviknight, Valcorona, Klefki, and Garchomp, and Iron Bundle. Like the team, I think, it's not that standard fire, grass, water core. In fact, it's like double dragon, double steel core is what it is, supported with a Valcorona and an Iron Bundle. I think that's a cool core. I really do. I'm a huge dragon fan personally, so I can see why. But the Pokemon that I thought was really cool to see was to see this Corviknight. Not to mention Klefki. Klefki literally just carried its own weight in one of the on-stream battles that Alberto had with it. It was so cool to see it just doing this like chip damage and then picking up KOs with Dazzling Gleam and stuff like that. Really cool. But Corviknight here is the one we're going to talk about when we get into the talking about the Pokemon portion of this team. But just to kind of go over the rest of it, look at this. Dondozo ain't going anywhere. They are nerfing Dondozo, unfortunately, in the patch to come. So the order up changes where it doesn't get the boost to its stat if it's protected, which is cool, but we'll see how that affects it. But look at this. This, for me, I am a huge Dragonite fan. Dragonite took 1st, 3rd, and 5th. Like, what's up, Dragonite? Really cool to see these Dragonites come through. Like, if we look at Gavin's Dragonite, it is a multi-scale with flying, right? Which is really cool. Then we look at Yayo. Sorry about that. We look at this Dragonite right here. That was terrible. Multi-scale with a normal Terra, with a Choice Band, with the extreme speed, so that shenanigans. But what I'm saying is, we're running into more multi-scale Dragonites. The third Dragonite in top 8, same thing, multi-scale. This one with flying. So there was only one extreme speed. Colin Harris. This actually, I know Colin is a really good player. He's a YouTuber Battle Room. It was really cool. It was really cool to see Colin play and do so well. Because I'm personally a fan of his channel and stuff like that. And he used mouse hold. So a bunch of mouse holds. When I'm saying multi-scale, I think is the best ability right now for Dragonite. It just allows you to, you may potentially be intimidating, but you got that little bit of extra bulk there. As far as Paradox Pokemon, it's pretty standard stuff. We did have what was this? Flutter Rain, right? Is that what it is? Iron Moth. Sorry about that. Yeah, we did have an Iron Moth. That was cool to see. Iron Moth, 3rd place. That was cool. But Iron Hands here. Iron Hands here on. So 2 Iron Hands, and then 3 Fluttermanes, bunch of Iron Bundles, Iron Bundle, Iron Bundle, Iron Bundle, Iron Bundle, Iron Bundle. Almost every single team has an Iron Bundle on it, except for what, 1, 2, 3 of them. The one thing I do want to say is Chop Across has consistently used a team like this and has done consistently amazing. So that's the top 8 for the tournament. And then you can also go down and you can go into like the day 2 Swiss rounds and how that broke down and the teams that did really, really well. We do have a Gamora placing pretty good on the day 2 Swiss rounds. Even here, you got the day 1 Swiss rounds. Look at this. That's that is a Hatterene. That's amazing. Trick Room Psychic, Dazzling Gleam for the Torkoal, getting that photosynthesis popped up. Some Indeedee Armarouche shenanigans. That's becoming a huge, big favorite. The final thing I do want to point out is something that I didn't see coming, and I think a lot of people didn't honestly see coming, is the amount of usage on the Gothitelle. Amazing to see something like Gothitelle just come out of nowhere and be used so much. I don't remember the exact standings, but it was actually one of the most used Pokemon. Like Gothitelle. Like, look at this. It's amazing. Gothitelle's all over the place. So just a Pokemon to keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for those Dragonites, those Gothitelles. Obviously, Dondozo Tatsugiri is still really good. It took first place in the juniors division, and in the division, what is that? Right underneath it? I can't remember what it's called. Seniors. So, I mean, really cool. We got some really big tournaments coming our way. If we go back up here to the homepage. There we go. We got some really big tournaments coming up. You got this weekend, in fact, I think. Come on, you can do it. Load, computer, load. No, it's just not being friendly right now. Anyways, Knoxville is the 25th. Still not loading. Okay. So we have the European Regional is held. This Brochum Regional is going to be the 25th to 26th of February, which is this weekend. It's going to be streamed on Victory Road. And then the one I'll be watching is going to be the Knoxville Regional, and that is the North American Regional is held on the 25th to 26th, again, this weekend. All the info is here. It's going to be I'm really excited for that. I've seen a lot of local people, or people, maybe not local, but people in the States training for this one for a while. So let's jump over and talk about our friend, the Pokemon that took second place and was a surprise standout, Corviknight. So this right here is, in fact, Cerebi. Link will be below for it if you are interested. I highly recommend checking it out. Awesome research for a aspiring Pokemon trainer, someone who has played the game for a long time, or someone who just wants to learn information about Pokemon. It's probably one of the best places to do so. So Corviknight is right here, shiny form, pretty cool. It's kind of one of those Pokemon that suffer from, like, the shiny form isn't maybe as cool as it could be. It is cool considering that the regular form is blue and the shiny form is like this cool metal color. The fact that it's a steel flying type Pokemon is absolutely amazing. Every piece of information you actually are going to want to know is going to be on Cerebi. We're going to do a more in-depth dive into the moveset and stuff, moves and movesets and stuff like that with Showdown. First and foremost, this is a Gen 8 Pokemon. It came out in our last gen, Sword and Shield. All your Pokemon entries are going to be right here. It's kind of funny to me to see it just popping off in Gen 9 versus Gen 8, which is where it came from. Like, if we go over here and look, if we go on to, let's say, the Battle Stadium Series 2 Switch Ranked, and we type in Corviknight, right here, it is the 22nd ranked Pokemon. If we just look in the regular VGC 2023 Series 2 standards, it's actually somewhere like 45 or something like that. Yeah, 45. Ranked 45th, the 45th most used Pokemon This is Pikalytics. It's another really good resource to have. It's like I said, Corviknight's monthly rank is 45. I kind of expect that to maybe go up a little bit now that it won a really big tournament. You do see that happen a lot. That's how metas get defined. But Pikalytics is going to have a pretty good in-depth breakdown of what people are using, what the most common moves are used on it, like Brave Bird being the most common moves. The team members, it's usually paired up with the terrestrialization types as well. That's new. That, we see it used the most. Dragon is actually being its most effective. Held items that we see that it has the most usage. And then the ability, as well as it should be somewhere right now. No stats on this one. It usually shows you the most used stats if you're like on the showdown part of it. Yeah, so if you click on the showdown, right here, this one, it shows you the most used stats that people are using the most on. So two really good websites to use. Showdown, though, this is Showdown. Showdown is your team builder. It's how you're going to concept teams. It's how you're going to enter your stat information and all that stuff like that. But Corviknight is, in fact, a 3-stage Pokemon. The first stage is going to be Rookadeer, which is this cute little bird. The second stage is going to be Corviksire, and Serby has all the information that you need for when it evolves and stuff like that. Final stage is going to be the big, bulky, awesome flying steel type that is Corviknight. Corviknight is a really cool Pokemon, and I think if it had a couple of more moves, we would see a lot more use of it. First and foremost, if it had Haze, this Pokemon would be amazing with Haze. I think we would see a lot more of it. That's my personal opinion. All this stuff I'm talking about is my personal opinion on the Pokemon. But the best ability is going to be Mirror Armor for it. If this Pokemon's stat changes would be lowered, the attackers are lowered instead. So if you're intimidated, you don't get intimidated. The Arcanine would be intimidated, or whoever it is that is intimidating you. Other two abilities are Pressure and Unnerve. Unnerve is a really good one. While this Pokemon is active, it prevents opponents' Pokemon from using their berries. So we don't see a lot of berries right now, but they're definitely coming up as items to be held. Berries are definitely a good item to have. The team that took second place, Alberto, right? Alberto's team. I just want to double check, make sure I'm saying the right person. It takes so long to yeah, Alberto. Alberto's God, I feel so stupid. Yeah, okay. So Mirror Armor is probably going to be the best ability for it. If we look at what Mirror Armor does, if this Pokemon stat changes would be lowered, the attackers are lowered instead. So if Arcanine intimidates you, it bounces back on them, and their stat gets lowered versus your attack stat being lowered, which is really cool. Same thing if it's speed or any of those stats, special defense, stuff like that. It bounces it back. There's two other abilities that it does have. It does have Pressure. Pressure is a pretty cool ability. If this Pokemon is the target of a foe's move, the move loses 1 additional PP, which is really cool. And it could be something that we could see it used because a lot of moves got nerfed as far as their PP. Like all the weather moves are now 5. If you max it does 8. So if you use, something like a special move, say, I don't know, we'll just use Will-O-Wisp, for example. Gets Will-O-Wisped instead of 1 PP, 2 PPs get used on it. You don't want to be Will-O-Wisp because your attack stats are highest stat, but that's just an example. The second ability, standard ability it does have is Unnerve. While this Pokemon is active, it prevents opposing Pokemon from using the berries. We don't see a lot of berries right now in play in VGC. They are out there. Alberto's Corviknight actually did have a citrus berry, so that's to say, I think the berries, a lot of berries come into play later on in play when getting your health back is really important versus just people trying to do a lot of damage or taking like a berry or a damage reduction berry or whatever. But with on nerve, they're not, your opponent's not eating those berries and they're not getting those effects. As far as moves, though, if we were to look at its status moves, which is the first thing I like looking at with Pokemon, especially defensive Pokemon. I had to get a drink of water. Especially Pokemon with good defensive stats, because if you can do things with a good defense, it's got Tailwind. That's a real obvious move we're gonna want to see on it. But if you're doing things like a bulk up build, or if you're doing things like bulk up, it does have bulk up, right? So if you got bulk up here, and then you got body press, you're getting +1 on the amazing defense stats it has, and so you're already having more longevity, and you're able to just bulk up, get an attack stat +1, get a defense stat +1, and that way the Brave Bird that you're going to have for your stab move is even more, does even more damage. So does your body press. You can even just skip bulk up, go with Iron Defense, and get that +2 rise in defense, so the body press. But then you're probably not going to want to run Brave Bird. Maybe you run Brave Bird anyways, just for stab. But maybe you run a Steel move instead, because you do damage to yourself. So maybe you don't really want to do damage to yourself if you are relying on body press. So maybe you run Iron Head, which is another pretty good move. Take advantage of a stab steal. You still have stab either way, but there's a whole bunch of moves. Corviknight does have access to light screen and reflect, so you could even use it as a screen center. How cheeky would that be? Probably not, but you could. Does have taunt, so that's a good one. Does have fake tears, lowers the target special defense by 2, so you pair it next to like a Fluttermane, and if it's outspeeding Fluttermane, which I'm not 100% positive it does, because it has a pretty weird speed stat, but you could get a fake tears off. Your special attacker comes in, smacks someone in the face with a special attack move, get rid of that. Same thing with Leer, lowers the foe's defense by 1. So let's say you're next to Garchomp. Okay, you're a flying type. Okay, you're not going to take the earthquake damage, but Leer lowers the foe's defense, both of your opponents, by 1. Then you go ahead and hit the Earthquake. Earthquake does more damage because you've lowered your foe's defenses by 1, potentially picking up a double KO. It does have Metal Sound, so you could lower special defense here by 2. Fake Tears and Metal Sound, pick whatever one you want. Probably Fake Tears because it has 100% accuracy over 85% accuracy. Sand Attack lowers the target's accuracy by 1. Screech lowers the target's defense by 2. Again, you're probably going to just go with Leer because 85% accuracy. It is 2 stages on one opponent, or targets. Oh, so it's both. Lowers the target. Oh, so it is both. So Screech hits both, but it's only 85% accuracy, so you really got to be like, am I going to hit this? Versus where you just can get one. Both of them lowered 100% chance to lower both opponents by 1 stage. So kind of pick your poison there. Do you want to risk missing moves? I personally don't. There is Swagger. That's a cool one. It does have the Rain Dance and Sunny Day, so you could set up some weather, stuff like that. But if you're going to look at its attack stats, and we'll jump back to moves, you're going to probably focus on its physical attack of 87 right here. So that way you can really take advantage of moves like Brave Bird, which we've already kind of spoke about. Keep in mind, Brave Bird has a 33% recoil, so you are taking some damage to yourself. But if you are rocking the Citrus Berry, you are going to regain some of that health. It restores 1/4 max HP when at half max HP or less. So, you Brave Bird, you proc your Citrus Berry, Then you also got your Roost, which is the exact same. This is the exact same moveset that was used on Alberto's team to take second place in OCIC. I think it's probably one of the best movesets you can probably come up with. Like I said, you could play with things like body press and iron defense, or bulk up for body press and more attack stats. But you could even do, like, if we look at its physical attacks, which is, like I said, something you're going to want to really focus on. It's got things like Revenge. So you have a Focus Sash. Probably not, but you could have a Focus Sash on it. And then you hit Revenge. And which is where to go. I lost my place. Ha! Terrible at this, man. I went too far back. Reversal. I'm sorry. It's not reversal. It's not Revenge. It's Reversal. And that is more power, less HP the opposer has. So if you have Focus Sash, you hit Reversal, you're doing lots of damage. It does have a move called Power Trip. So if you are running things like, let's say you don't run Tailwind and you run Bulk Up, right? And Body Press. So you're taking advantage of Bulk Up, so you get +2 stat, two stages, raises the user's attack and defense by 1. Power Trip, +20 power for each of the user's stats boost. So if you get 2 Bulk Ups off, you're at +4. You're at +20, +20, +20, +20, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Probably something maybe very niche-y. Maybe you're not going to really see too much of that, but there are options there. It does have an okay special attack at 53. Like, okay is stretching it. But it does have Hurricane. So if you're on a rain team, I don't know why you would run it on a rain team, because you're going to run Pelipper on a rain team. But let's just say you want to run a rain team and you want Corviknight because you love Corviknight. You could have super effective or super accurate Hurricanes and do lots of damage that way. As far as other special attacks on it, click on the right one, Draco, and talk about it. As far as special attacks, not too many to be seen. Terrablast, obviously, but that's whatever your higher stat is what it's basing itself on. It does have the air slash, which gives a flinch chance. So I mean, you could, let's say you're running a special, you could run air slash, you could run Hurricane. Both are stab, both will do big damage. Roost and Protect. You never know. So, like I said, the moveset that won was Brave Bird, Body Press, Tailwind, Roost. I think that's what you're going to want to probably stick with. It's very effective with a Citrus Berry. I think this setup is very effective for Corviknight. And I'm really excited to see where Corviknight goes in the future. So, like I said, super, super excited for that. That is the episode of Corviknight and the 2023 OCIC, which is the Oceania International Championship. Keep an eye out for Corviknight. I think we're going to see more of Corviknight. Maybe it's not going to be like the most popular pick we've ever seen, but I think we're going to see more of it because Tailwind is definitely a thing, but we don't have Whimsicott in this format, so we don't have Prankster Tail, which, when Whimsicott was in any format, it was on like almost every single team. So I think we're still trying to find the Tailwind user, and I think because of that, we're experimenting with lots of really cool things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, at any point, enjoy, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, show some support. And so